and the jellied brains of those who remain to put the finger right on you. As the madmen play on words and make us all dance to their song, till the tune on starving millions to make a better kind of gun. The killers breed, or the demon seed, the glamour, the fortune, the pain. Go to war again, blood is freedom stain. Don't you pray for my soul anymore. 2 minutes to midnight, with the hands that threaten doom. 2 minutes to midnight, to kill the unborn in the womb. Oh, midnight, oh, midnight, oh, midnight, it's all night. Midnight, oh, midnight, oh, midnight, it's all night. Midnight. Hear the rhyme of the ancient mariner, sees high as he stops for the three, mesmerizes a wonder the wedding guests stare and listen to the nightmares of the sea. And the music plays on as the bride passes by, caught by a spell, and the mariner tells his tale. Driven south to the land of the snow and ice, to a place where nobody's been. Through the snow fog flies on the albatross, hailed in God's name, hoping good luck it brings. And the ship sails on, back to the north through the fog and ice, and the albatross follows on. The mariner kills the bird of good omen. His shipmates cry against what he's done, but when the fog clears, they justify him and make themselves a part of the crime. Sail on and north across the sea. Sailing on and north till all is calm. The albatross begins with its vengeance. A terrible curse, the thirst has begun. His shipmates blame bad luck on the mariner. About his neck, the dead bird is hung. When the curse goes on and on at sea, and the thirst goes on and on for them and me. mercy lives on in their eyes. The mariner, he wished he died, along with the sea creatures, but they lived on, so did. And by the light of the moon, he prays for their beauty not doomed. With heart he blesses them, God's creatures, all of them too. Then the spell starts to break, the albatross falls from his neck, sinks down like lead into the sea. Then down it falls, comes the rain. Hear the groans of the long-dead seamen, see them stir, and they start to rise. Bodies lifted by good spirits, none of them speak, and they're lifeless in their eyes, and revenge still is sought. Penance starts again, cast into a trance, and the nightmare carries on. Now the curse is finally lifted, and the mariner sights his home. Spirits go from the long dead bodies, form their own light, and the mariner's left alone. And then a boat came sailing towards him. It was a joy he could not believe. The pilot's boat, his son, and the hermit, penance of life will fall onto him. And the ship, it sinks like lead into the sea, and the hermit shrieks, the mariner of his sin. The mariner is bound to tell of his story, to tell this tale wherever he goes, to teach God's word by his own example, that we must love all things that God made. And the wedding guests are sad and wiser man. And the tale goes on and on and on and
Hey now, what's going on, everybody? Oh, let's turn that off. Okay. Rolled right into the next song. I didn't even want it to. Hey, what's going on? So, my goal for today is just to kind of screw around, do some quests, either mostly in Nyx, probably. I might go over to Stanton if I get a little bored. And I'm trying to see what all I can really accomplish in this clipper. Because there's, with most of these quest chains, there's kind of an upper limit. Might have something to do with your personal skill level. I know I certainly ain't the best pilot out there in the verse, but, eventually, a lot of these mission chains, they'll throw you up against stuff where you're going to show up and there's going to be some kind of, there's going to be Valkyries and heavy fighters, mantises, a handful of big ships, maybe 2 or 3 buccaneers swarming around you trying to light you up, and you're just going to get kind of wrecked. At least I do. So we're going to see what we can accomplish working within our means. Well, here's my clipper. Got the camo paint on it, and it is not stock. The only things I put on here that would probably be a pain in the ass for a casual player, especially a solo, to get are these NDB30s. Now, you could probably buy them, to be honest, if you just like hit some people up in the chat. If you're not the antisocial type, you could all you got to do is have a ship that's got it. Sometimes you can, show up on a moon or someplace with bunkers or places where people abandon ships, and you might find something abandoned that's got some on it. I knew a guy that got some that way. I just asked around in chat, and I found a guy that had a Cutlass loaded up with him, and he gave me his full set, basically, just for fun. I gave him some armor that he didn't have, and weapons that I got out of bunkers that he didn't have, and it was a happy trade. So they're not impossible to get. The components, though, let's have a look. I'll show you what it's sporting here. Oh, wait, I can't because it's on the pad, right? Well, I know somebody's going to want to see it. So we'll just go do the thing.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrievers.
Okay,
Your
let's put
vehicle
her up.
has been moved to our storage facility.
I really do like the TAC, Starlancer TAC, but unless you got a bunch of friends, I have successfully completed some of these more difficult missions I was talking about in it. Flying solo, it's just a lot better if you got turret gunners. It flies like a pig. It's slow. If you can get nose down on somebody, the size 4s you got on it will probably really light up whoever, but it's just not the most fun to fly. It's got that, narrow, slim cockpit thing. I hate that. I hate missed cockpits unless you're flying around in a Prospector. That's great. Everything else about the ship I love. So if I'm solo, I am more inclined to fly something like a Clipper, unless I have to fly the monster. So let's see. I was going to show you what I got on here. So, I am at Levski. Why don't I go ahead and put the nice red paint on there for today? I got my jump module systems. All right, so I have a 1A industrial cooler. Looks like I never bothered to... Wait, I know I gotta have better than that. Come on. I thought I did. Well, maybe I gotta do some hunting. Or maybe it was just that the size 1 parts are harder to get. Like, size 2 is easy because you can scavenge parts out of most ships that have interiors. But size 1, it's a little tricky. Because they haven't quite gotten the gameplay down where you can, like, bust into the cockpit of a fighter after you take it out. At least I haven't figured it out. Maybe somebody else has. And size 3 shields you can't even pull out of a ship. So right now, size 2s are the most able thing to be scavenged from just regular old contracts out in the verse. If you show up a place, there's a handful of military ships maybe you got to take out. Blow them up, follow them until they stop spinning, go inside. You can probably pull out a few parts. Size 1, not so much, but we got power plant. I have a 1C military. Both 1C military. Don't have anything better, do I? No. I'm not going with a stealth build with this guy. I got a 1C military quantum drive. I don't have anything better. No. 1C military all stops. Industrial, 1C stealth. Yeah, alright. I mean, even the C military stuff is better than a lot of the other stuff that you can get. At least in terms of hit points. If you really want to know, then get on that Urkel Games calculator and compare your parts. I waited a lot of years before I got in the hang of using that tool. It's kind of nice just comparing stuff on the fly. It's really easy once you poke around with it for like 10 minutes, so don't be lazy like me. Go ahead and get into it. Figure out how to compare your stuff. I think I have... Yeah, God, did I really left these IR missiles in here? Did I really? In cross sections? And I'm probably not going to use them anyway. I try to avoid using missiles as much as possible because they just really cuts into your profits. They are not cheap. But if you were going to try and use missiles, if you weren't a brokey like me, and you're one of the people out there that's just got like 1 billion credits laying around, well, A, you probably wouldn't be watching me, and B, you could just afford to replace your missiles, which is the nice thing about having that kind of money is if you're trying to do a rep grind and you're just concerned about getting missions done and money doesn't matter, then you can just throw missiles all day and you can go restock and like it doesn't matter that you're losing money, right? But me, I ain't even got 1 million. See that down there? I spend it. And there's a whole bunch of ways to make money in the game, so I don't worry about it too much, but you know, you could always take the cheap route that a lot of guys do and, you know, find yourself one of them Asian websites where you can buy like 1 billion credits for $5 or something. And then you can go and you can buy every ship in the game and then be bored.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval
Because
system.
most of the stuff to do in this game, at least right now, is revolved around making money. Making money so you can do stuff. Making money so you can get the next ship. Open up the next gameplay loop. If you already got all the money and you already bought everything, then what are you doing? It's not like there's a main quest in the sandbox, right? So I'll leave myself broke. It's more fun that way, I find. I've been super rich before the last wipe, and by the time I had a giant pile of money, I just kind of stopped playing so much. It's like, what's the point of going, oh, I got like 200 million credits. Let me go ahead and get out there in the verse and deliver this box for 19K. All right. So if you've never checked out a clipper before, you got this nice little cargo area. I think it only holds something like 12. I've never really tried to pack it up completely. And I do believe that this compartment down here is not environmentally controlled. And it doesn't really matter that I'm in a... well, what is it, actually? 33C? It's so hot. Oh, well. Anyway, don't try and go down here without a spacesuit on. If you're just hanging out in space, you'll start to suffocate. I don't think this bottom section gets pressurized, unless it's a bug that's just been getting me. Oh, yep, close. There we go. So your components are back here. I really love the look of the engines back here. That's just so gnarly. Here's your med bed. I just go ahead and set myself here just in case for now. 200 med gels. And I got storage there. I got a few things in, and I'm gonna be super excited once they get this fabrication thing up and running. That is one of the coolest parts of this ship. You got a cargo area, you got a bed, you got a med bed, you got a 3D printer. So cool. A couple little jump seats in case you got some friends. And cooler up here. Life support up here. I haven't really tried to repair this too much, but now that I'm thinking about it, just making a quick note of component locations. Alright, shields back here. There's the gravity generator. There's my power plant. Is that down here? Another thing, there's this neat little hatch here. So if you want a quick little bloop, you can just drop down to the lower level. Battery, power plants, there they are. Okay. And another word of caution, I guess, something that got me when I was out doing some contracts the other day. It seems like I don't know how long this has been a thing, because this is the first time it happened to me and the first time I noticed it, but they seem to be putting distortions on some of the enemy NPC ships now. I was just out trying to do some missions in a Star Lancer in my TAC, and there was a Valkyrie came up hitting me with blue distortion cannons, and I started trying to take him out, but he managed to shut down my ship before I could get him, and then I'm just stuck there dead in the water while he and his buddies are lighting me up. All right, I got my head tracker working. Let's see. Okay. See if I can. Should set like a dead zone for it so it's not so twitchy. Let's go ahead and get out there. Alright. I like the third person when I'm getting out of a hangar. That's just me. And it has the wings work kind of like the way you, or at least I kind of wished the Corsairs would when I first got it. I wanted it to, you know, put the landing gear up, then the wings go out instead of flying with it with the wings up. Like, why would you even do that? It's such a neat looking ship. Alright. So, let's see what we got. What do you want to do? Contracts. So, I've been... when I came back in and started playing Star Citizen again, like maybe a month ago, like I was on hiatus for like a year. I saw that they added these investigation missions. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Is this like, do we get to be a detective? That would be a neat thing. I'd be a space detective. That'd be a cool gameplay loop if it was thoughtful and fleshed out, and you know, it required some, I don't know, some kind of There we go. I really need to get this new set of headphones. Every once in a while, these ones automatically shut off for some reason, and if it does, a voice thing I'm using crashes, and if that crashes, my mic stops working. It's like this goddamn like chain reaction of app malfunctions, and I gotta restart some stuff. I've gotten good at doing it quick though, but I think I'm just gonna get a old-fashioned plug-in set of headphones. This was really my first wireless, and I know they work great for lots of people and they swear by them, but these ones have been such a giant piece of crap. Left a bad taste in my mouth. I just want something that plugs in, that doesn't have anything in it that's trying to tell it to, oh, you need to power off, conserve some energy. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Investigation missions. So, I started doing those primarily. I just wanted to build up some rep with the Hawkrow agency to see what some of the higher tier stuff was like. And it starts off really simple. You can bang these out pretty quick. Compared to a lot of the other like kind of intro newbie missions, like you're not going to get combat either way. But with these, you don't have to like swing into a space station or anything. If you got a ship that's got enough fuel, and aside from instances where you need to get more quantum fuel, you can just accept a contract, fly to it, and then when you get there, there's going to be a wreck floating in space, and you got to find a dead body in there. Somebody passed away. Your mission is to verify the corpse. In fact, I'll show you. This is the tier 1. It's 24,000. Need an operative to help us potentially prevent a death. An informant has reported an active hit issued for the wreck site. Head over there and see if the person mentioned by our client is still with us. If they're not, which they won't be, they're always dead. Examine the body closely so we can report back. So you're going to go to a wreck and you're going to EVA and try and find a body. And you find it, click on it, it's going to give you money. And then you're going to go back to your ship, accept another one, fly there, do it again. Depending on if you get lucky and they're right next to each other, you can do them pretty quick. Worst case, it might be, 40 GM out. It's mid 30s. So maybe wait a couple minutes, watch something, get a snack, bang out the next one. I'll go ahead and show you what this entry level looks like. You are not the combat type. Maybe you're new, not so confident in your flight combat abilities. You're just trying to get the hang of getting from point A to point B. Oh. And she goes. A mere 24 billion meters away or so. There's a million. I should know that. GM. I'll just say GM. So then we cruise. We got a minute. The sun is awful bright. I wonder if they've said what kind of star it is. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, like, from a human perspective in space. It's like, even if we get above our atmosphere, the sun starts to look a little more like white. Doesn't exactly look yellow if you're out in space, But if it's got some blue to it, then it's one of the really, really hot stars. Fun fact, stars in the universe are color-coded. So, the red ones are the not as hot ones. Even the really big, like red giant, it will not burn as hot as, like, a blue star. You ever hear that thing when you were a kid, that the blue part of the flame is the hottest part of the flame? Same thing with stars. Blue stars are the hottest stars. It kind of seems like it's a young solar system where planets haven't had a chance to form yet, with a bright blue star. Although I thought I had heard that the plan was to put some kind of planets in the system eventually. Right now it's just one giant asteroid field. Shouldn't probably blow my vape shit right at the camera, huh? That's rude. Alright. Coming in hot. Not really. It's gonna be all quiet. Just you wait and see.
Quantum drive is now off.
But, whoa. No way. So this is something else that could happen. If I were to guess, I would say dairy Delgado. Was this Terry Delgado? No. At least Karlstrom. One thing some people can do is they can... This site might have also been where a higher tiered version of this mission came from. And maybe somebody came in with a stealth ship and they got there. No, this eye tracker is actually just kind of unhappy. I'm just gonna turn it off. There we go. Every time I'm looking over to my off monitor, it's moving around. All right, so yeah, what I was saying. So somebody probably came in here and did a higher tier version of this quest and managed to get out without killing some of these NPCs. But they're only prospectors, so they're not gonna really kill me. They're just annoying because prospectors are a little tanky. So I'm just gonna cruise up to the wreck like I own the place and see if they decide to move in and start any trouble. Looks like at least one of them is. Yep, he's heading my way. Let's just get in position for him here. Hello, friend. Oh yeah, my limiter's set weird. Come on, friend. So your friends, your buddies come to the party too. Did something. Some kind of damage. I mean, even in a starter ship, you can take these guys out and dance around them. Might be able to trick you if you're doing mouse and keyboard, you're not accustomed to it yet, but these guys are just like good target practice. You can practice, like I'm just gonna sit still. I'm not even gonna strafe or move forward and backward. I'm just gonna sit in one spot. All right. Well, you're see, not really doing a whole lot. Not even bringing my shields down. Okay, now he's out. See, not even moving. Literally just sitting still. Firing away. Now, I wouldn't recommend this if they got ballistics. Bullets might chew you up. Or if they're launching missiles. But I'm just doing this to make a point. It doesn't take like a skilled pilot. I'm literally just sitting here shooting. You can see 0 meters per second down there in the bottom. Okay. So. Coast is now clear. Let's go check the wreck. And this clipper can actually get up to, you see that? Just a little over 400 meters a second when you're boosting. It ain't bad. It's really not bad. Oh, it's a caterpillar. The size of the ship can complicate things. If you do enough of these, you'll learn kind of routine spots to check. I recommend putting your lights on. Because compared to the size of this ship, that little bitty corpse can sometimes kind of be, I mean, hidden ain't the right word, but you know what I mean. Hard to spot. So, if I don't see it immediately floating around the outside, one thing, come by the front of this wreck, because they all kind of look the same. Every caterpillar wreck will look like this, and it'll have this little box out the front. Sometimes there's a corpse right in there. I searched this whole thing one time before I found him sitting right there in the front. I was so pissed. So I do a little sweeping around the ship with my lights on, just to see real quick if he's floating out here in an obscure spot before I start combing around the inside of the ship. And if I don't see anything and he's not in the front, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check through here first. So just gonna go ahead and turn my thrusters off. And double check, make sure my helmet's on. I've done that stupid mistake a few times. No, get down there. Down the ladder, down the ladder. Okay. Civil elevator out. Nope. Okay. So, I'm going to go through this broken glass. This was the second obscure location of a body. Once it took me forever to find. Yep. Actually, it wasn't. It's usually not here, but this is, while you're looking here, the spot I usually find him actually is right in here. He'd be like right here. So I got a new spot they can spawn right here. So go up to him. Sometimes you'll hit F when you see search and it'll work. Sometimes it's a little finicky and you gotta like spam it a few times or do the kind of hold and F and see if you can interact. For some reason, it's the thing that you want to interact is usually somewhere near the feet. I don't understand why. But see, that's that. That's 24,000. And granted, I did that pretty, I mean, not like super slow, but like I'm talking to you guys and explaining my thought process as I do this. Like you could do this a little quicker. Just in and out. It's 24K. Handful of minutes. Like how long was that? Took me longer to fly here than it did to complete the mission. Okay. Done and done. Engines on. Let's back up. And we can move on to the next. If you were just doing the tier 1s, then you could just go on to the next, to the next, to the next. And there would hopefully not be any combat. Or maybe I did the... Actually, I think I did a stupid. I think the 24K is the second tier, which is when enemy NPCs start to spawn. I think it's this 21K where there are none. So I'll just show you that next. So if you can do, I don't know, anywhere between 5 and 10 of these an hour, that's a 1 to 200,000 an hour, which isn't really bad for a new player or a casual player who's not trying to like super maximize their amount of credits per hour. I know there are ways and routes that you can make millions. This is not that, but it's easy. It's chill. If you're the type of guy who's like the way I play Star Citizen a lot, I'll have stuff on my second monitor podcast, or maybe I'm watching somebody's Star Citizen content, or you know, or some other gaming shit. You know, I got a podcast going or a movie going. You can just fly around and do this. Takes like very little focus. You don't have to interact with chat or any other players. You can just zip around, collect your money. It's very chill, very chill. Not that I don't mind a little bit of chaos now and then, but you know. And while you're doing this, it is also worthwhile to just keep an eye on your quantum fuel, especially in Nyx, because there's only a couple of 3 landing points specifically. Your Pyro and Stanton gateway stations, and Levski itself. At least one time I've gotten myself stranded in deep space because I was just zipping back and forth to missions, and I got to a place and didn't quite have enough fuel to get home. It's kind of a bummer. So we'll see how far the one after this is. Might have to swing in to refuel. Maybe not, though. We shall see. And then, I know we're kind of doing them out of order here. I showed you the second tier first, and then we're going to do the first. Then I'll try the third in the Clipper. If that goes well, I may try the 4th. I am not as optimistic that I'll be able to succeed at that one. Because, oh yeah, this was something I was going to say. The kind of bummer about the investigation missions in general, like I was saying earlier, you kind of envision it as being like detective work. Oh, god damn it. Who's here? Who is it? Contact with what? I don't see shit. Is that just a ghost reading? What was that contact from? I see no pips, I see no nothing. Alright, well. Here's hoping it's nothing. Don't see anybody though. What do we got? These are the ones you want. Looks like it's just a little cutlass. And I do not see our target flow. Wait, is that them floating around there? That is them floating around there. See that? Itty bitty. Alright. Let's go get them. Down. Out. A ship with an easy in and out makes this a lot easier. Faster, I should say. This guy. There's the thing. There's the thing. There it is. See, right by his toe. Hit it. Take my money, and off I go. Easy peasy. You know what? Actually, while I'm here, before I get going, just go ahead and siphon some nutrients from my med bed. Yes, feed me intravenously. Which does not seem to use any of the med gels. It's good. I was wondering about that. Alright. So now I guess we'll be off for tier 3s, huh? Scan through my components, make sure I didn't take any damage with anything. Doesn't look like it. Alright. So, tier 3 is next. So it starts at 21, 24, 39. So, oh, yeah, I totally got sidetracked in this. What I was hoping from the investigation missions was that, like, the whole searching for a body and a wreck thing was like the start, and that maybe it would lead to some kind of more interesting, deep, thoughtful kind of, you know, detective work. But no. All it is it starts off, find a wreck and a body. Tier 2, kill a ship or two, then find a wreck and a body. A wreck, or find a body and a wreck. Jesus. Then It just keeps scaling up. Now kill a few more tougher opponents and then look for a corpse in a shipwreck. Now kill even more stronger opponents and then find a corpse in a shipwreck. Like, all it is they just put more things for you to shoot down in the way of you and your target. It's not the way you would hope that like a chain of investigation contracts would like scale. It was disappointing. Now it's new. They'll fleshed out eventually. We can hope. But you know, it's still an alpha. Granted, it's been a really good year for Star Citizen. They put out a whole bunch of new content, but at the same time, they do have a history of the implement and forget. Like, yeah, we're just gonna throw the scaffolding up for this game feature, and you know, once it's kind of in place, we can clean it up and fix it up later. But right now, we got to ship sail to get ready for, you know, some kind of shit. So this, who knows? This could be crap like this for years before they come back to it and flesh it out. Who knows? Or maybe it'll be soon. Right now, it was kind of disappointing. So once I got up to this tier, I don't know what rep I was at with it. Somewhere at senior contractor. I was kind of starting to think, like, do I really care about seeing what's up here? I guess I could look it up. I try not to do too much of that. I just kind of want to see. But so far, it's been disappointing. Other than your ability to make money quick, if you stick to some of the simpler ones and you just knock them out. But just to show you, let's do a 1, 2, tier 3. Accept offer. Let's see, where did the... Oh well. Alright, let's go. Ah, lucky. This one's kind of close. So refueling isn't really a thing I need to worry about. And we're off.
Is now on.
I have tried to also farm some of that Intersect Defense Solutions rep to get up to that Vanduul Tech Smugglers mission that people were raving about for like the past month or so. At least it was in my YouTube feed. Hey, you can get good components here. You can get military stuff, all different sizes, but it's all just... It's stuff you really... It's hard to solo. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's done it, but I like kind of get my ass kicked unless I'm in my Star Lancer. And even then, it can kind of be slow going. In fact, I think one of those is the one where my ship got distortioned all to hell, and all of a sudden I was just sitting duck. Like, you can't fix it. Well, I mean, maybe there's a repair method with engineering that I'm unaware of, but once my ship was totally shut down, I didn't know what to do. I was just sitting duck. I tried using the repair all, like, it's not doing anything. It's not broken. Okay. We got a buck. We got a prospector. He's coming in hot. Interceptor class. And these Buccaneers you do not want to take lightly. They have a large ballistic Gatling on their top. Even if you think your shields will handle their energy weapons, they will still chew you up eventually with those ballistics. And they're nimble. Small targets. Alright. Got anybody else immediately on me? No, you're far away. What else do I got? You are close. But you're just a prospector. So you see they've stepped it up a little bit. They've added some danger. Tier 1 had no enemies. Tier 2 had a couple of prospectors. Tier 3's got at least a prospector and a buck. Sometimes there's like a mantis. Which doesn't try to quantum interdict you, which is kind of funny. And you can get some decent parts out of it, I think. Can't remember if they're stealth. If that was your jam. Right, another pilot seat. Alright. What is that? It kind of looks like another prospector. Let's just go take care of them. Juma Van Steen Kisty? What? That's a name, boy.
Shield system is hit.
Where are you going? Literally trying to run from me? Like, there's nowhere to go, bro.
Congratulations.
There we go. Alright, coast is clear. Somebody left to bust it up. Star Lancer? Wonder if it's got any good parts. Maybe we'll go check that out real quick. Let's go have a look. Looks like it's already been opened up. See anything? Oh, well, they got tinted windows on this motherfucker. I never noticed that. You can kind of see some of the lights in there, but Alright, what do we got for guns? This looks like Omni Skies. So I don't really care about any of that. Yeah, nothing too interesting. It's well, why not? We're here. Let's go have a look.
Engines offline.
Hopefully it's not a trap. But I do have a gun, so. Oh. Thing's already opened. Well, actually, let's just Make sure the ports are unlocked. Nope. Oh, God. I hate these beds in these ships. All you have to do is just vaguely wander towards the bunk that's by the door, and if you just shift a little too close to the bed, it starts this long-ass animation getting in. Just stop. Stop and let me out. Get up. Get up. Exit seat. Exit seat. I better not be stuck. No way. No way. I get stuck in a cursed bed. I thought I saw the blue for a second. Come on. Let me out. Oh, see, wait. Exit. Jesus Christ. Don't let this happen to you. Come on, down we go. Look out. Okay. In here. So, I enter the pilot seat. And I'm going to hit right Alt K. Did it do anything? Ship ports unlocked. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Guess I could have just opened all doors too, huh? But hey. Okay. So we're on this side. Looks like coolers. Alright. Cool. So, I'm gonna do. Oops. Let's open up this ramp if I can float around like a person who knows what he's doing. Just to kind of get it out of the way. Maybe. Let's use this. Okay. I'm just hoping these are decent. Ah, daybreaks. Those are crap, I think. Daybreak. Odyssey, I think, is also generic. Yeah, I don't think there's anything great in here. But, you know, hey, I come this far. Just take it for fun. Just to show you how it's done. Can it not fit? Huh. Alright, fine, whatever. I was kind of hoping that this would have turned out to have been a player ship that maybe had some neat parts, but I'm pretty sure this is just a generic stock NPC freelancer. Oh my god, is it gonna be glitchy and weird? You ain't even worth taking if you're gonna do this. Come on. There we go. Sometimes you gotta play with it. Giggity. Just gotta wiggle it around a little bit. Alright, let's try. There you go. There's just not really a point to taking all this, but I will take one of these coolers. Oh, they can do that sometimes. You can kind of like get hidden up in the top of your quantum drive. See, it looks like it's gone, but it's not. It's just right there in the. It's like locked onto the top. Okay. Close. But that's not why we were here. We were not sent here to scavenge. Although, you know, take what opportunities you can get.
Engines.
We were here to find a body. Because all missing people are dead. I think that's the wreck up there. What kind? This is a Bonnie? Yeah. And is that them, that little speck, them floating around? It is, I think. Yeah. Just curled up in. Oh, nope. Curled up in the fetal position in space. Yeah, I'm not even gonna adjust it. Doesn't matter. Alright. Down we go. Once you do a few of these, you kind of you've taken out, you know, a bunch of the different kinds of ships that they'll throw at you. You'll loot the stuff you want pretty quick, or figure out what ships are worth looting and what aren't, to kind of maximize your efficiency and your time. So once you get the components you need out of these NPC ships, you just don't want to waste your time scale. Like you're not going to sell them for really any amount of money to be worth the time of loading them into your ship, loading them off your ship into a cargo hold, going down to a store. It's like you just make more money flying around doing the missions. Unless maybe you can sell them to a player who's got a bunch of credits and doesn't know how to engage with the game. There are those guys, and sometimes you can sell them easy to obtain stuff for more than it's worth. Why do I have a torque imbalance? That's dumb. Got no red parts on my hull. So let's see, we got 30, what was it? 38, 25, where's the pyro jump point? Hey, look at that, it's close. So we'll go fuel up at the pyro gateway station. I prefer in Nyx, if I'm just going in for food or refuels or repairs, although Levski is my primary residence, I will always prefer to go to any of these other gateways, because flying into Levski is, I mean, it's not fair to say it's hard. It's in the middle of an asteroid which is breaking apart, or maybe coming together, who knows. But there's just stuff everywhere. There's rocks floating everywhere. You kind of got to maneuver around them. Basically, when you get to the area, leaving yourself in nav mode and just cranking it up to, you know, a kilometer a second to close in quickly on the station. At Levski, it's very dangerous. You could just go flying into a rock and blow up. Should be a bummer. But at the gateway stations, there's basically no debris between where you quantum into the area and the station, so you can just plow right on in there quick, get in, get out. So I will demonstrate right now. Then, like I said I was going to do, I will attempt to do that Tier 4 investigation mission. I'm probably going to get a bunch of missiles lobbed at me and have to hightail it out of there or get blown up at some point. We'll see. Maybe not. See, like, you know, it's might not be fair to say that, like, you can't do it in a clipper, but you might wind up having to, like, bail, repair, if you're using missiles, restock, and come back. And if you're having to do that,
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
you
That request has already been granted.
will not be making a profit. You're just losing a bunch of time, you're losing a bunch of money, and really the time is the most important thing. If you're having to quantum back and forth to a station in the middle of a contract to repair, it's like you'd almost, aside from the rep gained, if you're trying to get the higher rep missions, like you're almost better off just farming the lower tier ones. If you're solo. If you got a wingman or a ship with some turrets and somebody who can help you work a turret, then those all become instantly much more doable. You gotta share your profits a little bit, but it's far less risky. And I don't think you split the rep. I think you just split the money. But I know that's just what I think in my head. I never actually, so could be wrong.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant
I also could have made this faster by just going onto a landing pad. I don't know why I pulled into this hangar. Wasn't necessary. So, you know, it's operating costs ain't bad. 1,000 on repairs, a little over 2,000 on quantum fuel, and I've made not quite 200,000, but not bad money. Good profit. I've taken out my
You are clear to launch.
my Star Lancer before, trying to do some missions, and fired off every missile I had in stock, and when I went back to the station repair, it's like 6 figures. It'll be like over 100,000 credits. You're better off, just like, if that happens to you, if you're a brokey like me, don't. It's like, just abandon your ship under a freaking landing pad outside and go inside and insurance fraud yourself a new one.
Thank you. And please visit again.
This is just a stupid amount of money. Alright. So. Let's see here. Offers. Investigation. Locate missing agent. Azizi Jenks. Love these future space names. So again, a client has hired the agency to look for a missing friend who has not been returning their comms and have been acting increasingly erratic. Ooh. Client has shared all the information they possess on Azizi Jenks, and we've been able to pinpoint their ship's location. See, this first paragraph is indicative of a loop that they could put you through. Right? Like, the client hired the agency, they shared all of the information they possess, and they determined the ship's location. Now, if you're just trying to grind out money and you don't care about all this crap and you're just trying to go places and click buttons and collect your credits, maybe that wouldn't be for you. I would be interested to see what it's like if the client just gave me a list of information and it was up to me to try and figure out, like, where to look somehow. I know there's not a lot of points in Nyx to exactly jump in on, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that you would want to see out of these investigation missions. But it's not like that. The agency does all the thinking for you, and they just, like, you're a glorified courier. Just go here, shoot anybody, find body, report. It's not what you would want for being like a senior contractor for a for a detective agency, or what would it be? A private investigator. But we gotta work with what we got. So we're gonna go to this wreck site, which is too far. If you get this, switch in and out of the modes, probably pop back up. Boom. Off we go. You like my shirt? I got. See that? UEE Navy. I wanted to get the Drake Interplanetary shirt, or maybe the Anvil Aerospace shirt. Those are pretty wicked looking, but of course they were all sold out, except for like the teeny tiny small ones, I think. This, the UEE Navy, they actually had in my size, which was nice. And considering I also work for the Navy in reality, it fits. It's okay. I even got this little bluish beanie hat to go with it up at the Walmart today for a whole $10. It's nice and cozy and warm. It is important if you're bald and you live as far north as I do. This is very cold. Don't it look pretty in its quantum state? It is a slick ship. And you know, it might be, I mean, the cockpit in the Shiv is pretty good too, to be honest, but this cockpit view is also pretty good. Maybe the beams mess up some people, but some of the other Drake ships are just so much worse. So much worse. You actually get a pretty good view in this. Okay, let's see what we're up against. Let's hope for a minimal amount of Buccaneers. As soon as you quantum in, get switched it up. Don't do that. Okay. Buccaneer, right off the gate, coming in hot. So as soon as you don't want to go AFK when you're quantum into these missions, you got to be paying attention. As soon as you get there, put your shields up, because these guys will be moving in on you. Where you going, friend? Come on back. Come on back. Oof. It's good. Kept him from even making a second pass. Okay. I'm willing to bet that unknown over yonder is yet another ship. There might be a few more bucks hidden that I ain't been able to ping yet. They're kind of small. Sometimes you get lucky. I've had a couple of times I've done these tier 4 missions where there wasn't anybody there. I don't know if I just was a bug and they didn't spawn. I don't know if another player was just happening to come through and blew them all up before I got there or what. Sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you get really unlucky and you will not only be fighting your group of NPCs, but maybe another group that somebody left behind. Say it was a ship. What do we got? It is a Cutlass. That's not the worst. But I'm going to pay attention to, well, too late now. I was going to say, looking over, if you look at the display over there, you can see his velocity starting to pick up. His shield's down. He's gone into, oh, shit. Got another friend. Another goddamn Buccaneer. Okay, so this is going to be a little rough. That Drake's going to be lighting me up from the rear. I need to kill this Buccaneer quickly. Now I need to switch to nav mode, and I'm going to put some distance between me and this Cutlass. Basically get a fresh start. I'm not quantuming away, just getting some distance. Turn around. Where's he at? Is he following? He is following. Okay. Now it's a one-on-one. Cutlass, NPC Cutlasses almost always seem to have somebody in their turret, which means this guy's basically got more firepower than me, I think. Oh, shit. Got missiles. to avoid it. It's alright. Still in good shape. Alright. Bitch. Already chewing me up. Alright, bail again. What? I didn't want that. Ain't nothing to dock with. Oh, I did not want that. What? Okay, good. Landing gear up. None of those are freaking hitting? Already red. Oh, nope. Okay. So. Shit. Well, I got 40 seconds to try and repair my power plant. So it's possible that if I can live another 17 seconds without him blowing me up, I can get out of here with that repair all. Come on, come on, come on. No. Son of a bitch. Sometimes you get lucky. They don't blow you up. In time, anyway. Depends on kind of where they shoot. Can't respawn in my clipper. It done blowed up. You have to send me back to Levski. Well, at least those components I had in my ship were crap. I didn't really have anything in there. There was a couple pieces of armor that were not rare, but I had bought them at a shop I wanted to take back. So those are gone. Preferred ICU unavailable. No shit. I don't know how much quicker it would be, but I've given some thought to the idea of keeping a spare power plant in my ship, even if it's just a crappy one. Maybe if you're really quick, you can get out of your pilot seat and go swap it out and then bolt out of there before your ship blows up. I don't know. Well. So, as you can see, once you get up to the 4th tier, it's a little more real. Sure, a better pilot or a pilot more willing to use his missiles probably would have walked away from that better than me. Maybe a different weapon choice. Maybe NDB-30s aren't the best way to go this patch. Everybody swears by ballistics. I've had really good luck with ballistics. I just kind of hoped they would work out good in that ship. Everybody's freaking out. Ever walk into a space station and you see all the NPCs freaking out? Like, as if somebody's running around with a gun trying to shoot everybody. And you think, look, you're in an armistice zone. I can't even take out my rifle here. What's the deal? Well, can't take out this toy gun. And that seems to make people freak out. Wave it around, they act like it's a real gun. He flinched. You see that? Nope, I'm gonna run away to my medium hangar. Ah, well. Probably could have pulled it off if I was in the Shiv. That's what I take if you really want, like,
Welcome to the ASOP
firepower over comfort.
system.
You know, as a solo. God, really? I got it at Pyro? Well, let's bring it back home.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Don't think I got it. And I'm not even going to expedite it because I think I'm about to log off for the night. I got to work in the morning. But let's see. Make sure I got all my ships. Yeah, sure. Why not bring you here
Your
too?
insurance claim has been sent.
And might do a mining stream one of these days. Get the misses on here because I got her playing a little bit too. Thought about putting a couple rocks or a couple of those Argo Geos or whatever they are, the mining mechs that you ride around in. Maybe go doing some group mining missions. See how effective that could be as a duo in terms of making money.
Please visit us again.
Yeah, if I wanted to, I still got the quest. I could go back and try and finish it, but I don't really want to do that. I think that'll be it for today. If you're checking this out after the fact, hope you learned something or at least laughed a little bit at my inept attempts to get through some of these missions. And I'll catch you next time. This is Bossa Nova. I'm out.